Anyway, welcome. Welcome to the virtual classroom that is CSC 231, Introduction to Data Structures. I got a couple of instructions there on the screen. Hopefully everyone has done these things already. If not, there's still time. I would say that the most important thing right now is to download and install Slack, which is item number 3. All these instructions are the same as were in the announcement I made a few days ago. So let's see if we can get this thing to operate. All right, so welcome to the course. As I mentioned, this is Introduction to Data Structures. This is the second programming course in our programming sequence in the computer science department. You all are relatively recent graduates of CSC 131. So 231 is the next progression of that sequence. So what can you expect in this course? What is it about? In 131, Introduction to Computer Science, you learned, the very basics of computer science, what it means to compute something. You learned all about kind of Boolean logic, and then, processing data and loops and ifs and whiles and methods and functions and that sort of thing. And basically it was kind of a boot camp. Like if you were a chef, it was like, these are what these ingredients are. Here's an orange, here's a knife, here's how to use it without cutting yourself. 231 is teaching you how to think like a programmer to solve problems. Okay, so we're going from solving little snippets and doing little tiny algorithms to doing something a little bit more substantial, but most importantly, teaching you and getting you practice on problem solving ability, right? Instead of being given like fill in the blanks, being given, here's what I need you to compute. Here's this file, and I need you to crunch some numbers in it. Or I want you to search this list of 1 billion different things, this file that's got 1 billion different names in it. But your search, it has to do it in like a millisecond. Can you do that? Well, by the end of this class, the answer is yes. All right, but the most important thing is going to be not necessarily how you solve the problem, but that is an important component of this. That is the data structures part of this class. Like they're kind of the how do you solve a problem. But the most important aspect of this class is getting you more practice in figuring out solutions to problems instead of filling in the blank. Okay. What we will be studying is storing, searching, and sorting of data. Okay, so that's what computers do. They compute things. And what do they compute upon? They compute upon data, whether that data are numbers, names, strings, images, audio, whatever they are, that's what they do. And an enormous part of computing is knowing how do you do these basic things with the data you have? How do you store it? How do you search it? How do you sort it? And so we will look into those applications as we go along. You will learn how to analyze trade-offs between different approaches to solving these problems, okay? Starting to compare, starting to develop that maturity. Like, okay, before, I just needed to get the darn answer. I needed to get it to work. Now, did I find the best answer, right? How do I know I've got the best answer? And we'll address that in this class, okay? That said, this class is programming intensive. You must be able to program in Python to pass this class, okay? Last semester, it was weird. It sucked, and I know it sucked. I was there. 131, those of you who took 131 last semester, which is probably about 90% of you, it was hard, and I know it was hard. And maybe you didn't get the same treatment you would have if we had a full semester in person. That said, you're gonna have a little time here at the beginning, like a week or 2 or 3 to kind of really get up to speed and really practice, because you gotta know your fundamentals in Python. If statements, logical things, printing, manipulating strings. We'll do some review of that next week, all the really essential stuff that you're going to need for this class. But I'm going to rely on you to practice, and I'm going to rely on you that if you don't know something, even if it's from 131, I want you to ask me, okay? We'll talk about the right ways to ask in the future, the right mechanisms, okay? Ask. I know you don't know stuff, but I don't know what it is you don't know until you ask me, okay? And I don't care. You may not know how to print a line. I don't care. Just ask me, okay? I'm not gonna judge you based on your questions. Please just ask, okay? I know it's a little intimidating, especially since I'm not there. I'm here sitting under my porch with all the spiders and mosquitoes right now. But virtually, I don't know, leverage that anonymity. All right, don't feel bad about asking me questions, okay? Please, that's what I'm here for. It is programming intensive. You are gonna be coding a lot, okay? If you are a CSC major, a CSC minor, or a DAA major, you've got to earn a C in this class. That was also true for CSC 131, but you know, you were able to opt for a P grade. That is not going to happen this semester, I don't think. So got to put in the work, put it in early. If you find that you're like struggling with your programming, ask about it sooner rather than later. Don't let it creep on you, because it's kind of, you know, it's got momentum. Once we start rolling downhill, if you're left at the top of the hill, you're not going to be able to catch up. Okay, so ask. That's what I'm here for. Okay, final point that everyone loves. You will not earn a C in this class by Googling your homework assignments. Okay, you must learn to solve programming problems using your own brain. I'm all for the internet and I'm all for Google for getting help and for filling in the blanks. But the homework assignments, you're not going to find the answers on the internet. And the assessments, the things like the quizzes and the final exam, you got to know the stuff, right? You won't be able to fake it and make it in this particular class. So all this is just a way of saying, be prepared to work. And if you get stuck, ask me, okay? I'm here to help. All right, so what will we do in this class? What are our learning goals? We will learn how to use data structures and algorithms to solve common computing problems. We will understand what is going on under the hood of a program, right? And that's one of the very first things we're gonna look at in this class, right after we review some of the 131 materials. When you press the run button on your Python program and it does something and then spits out, hey, my name is Lucas. Do you know really what's going on in the computer? Do you have a sense of it? You're gonna learn, and that learning is gonna help you understand and help you problem solve, okay? You will be able to decompose problems and abstract solutions you have already seen and apply them to new problems. So we're gonna evolve from kind of, hey, I saw the instructor do this in class, and he asked me to do it on the homework, so maybe if I copy his code and paste it and tweak it a little, that'll be good. That'll be good enough. That'll work for a little while, but it's not gonna work in the end. In the end, I'm gonna give you a statement like, sort this list of 1 billion records. And you're gonna say, what's gonna be the right approach to that? And there's more than one. And then you're gonna say, okay, well, I think this is the right approach, and I did something like that before, but it was considerably different. Let me transform that, right? So being able to adapt a recipe you've seen before is different than being able to copy a recipe you've seen before, right? That's where we're going in this class. Be able to debug your code. Oh my goodness, how many people are good at debugging their code? Empirically, I can tell you about half of you are good at it, and half of you don't know how to do it. I will teach you, okay? It's the most important skill besides problem solving that a programmer can have, is figuring out why that code doesn't work beyond just, well, I ran it and I got this bunch of red text. Let me delete this line and see if that fixes it. That's not a good approach to debugging. Sometimes it works, but it's not a real good approach. I'll teach you how to think through these things systematically. All right, so enough about the content of the class. I've been blasting you all through Canvas and through email. I run this course through Canvas, okay? Everything is gonna be through Canvas because it's online in part, but I would do it anyway, even if we were in person. It's very important for you, if you haven't done this already, to go into your Canvas, go to your account settings, and turn on notifications, okay? Make sure that you are getting, at a minimum, notifications for when I post announcements for this class. And you probably want that for all of your classes. And I imagine many of you probably already have this turned on, but make sure you're getting notifications. Those notifications will be emailed to your UNCW email account, which is another thing you have to check. You have to monitor your UNCW email. There's always a handful of people every semester I get that are like, oh, I didn't know, I don't check that email. Like, well, here's your warning, please check that email. On Canvas, you will find the syllabus. The syllabus, you know, I'm not gonna show you the Snoop Dogg video that I think everybody else is posting right now, but you gotta read the syllabus because it's the contract between me and you. What I'm expecting of you and what you can expect of me. I try and lay out grade breakdowns. There's a notional schedule on there, all that sort of stuff. Check it out. Let me know if you have any questions. Have to read the syllabus, okay? And I know they all blend together after a while, but anyway. Okay, so what will this course be like? This course is organized into weekly modules, so the modules section of Canvas. Usually what's going to happen, and I would say almost always, what's going to happen is I'll record some videos for you, and certainly at least at the beginning of the semester, it's going to be brand new, fresh videos from me. I'm not going to link you to a bunch of other people's stuff, but you are absolutely free to go out there and find your own YouTube videos to help you along. That's okay. I'm going to post the videos of the lecture prior to Monday. I'm going to put them on YouTube. The reason I want to put them on YouTube is so you can watch them anytime you want on the most reliable video platform you got, right? You can watch them on your phone, you can watch them on a tablet, whatever, right? So they'll be on YouTube, but I will link them to Canvas. Also on Canvas in the module, slides like these, I'll put them up there. I think they're already up there actually. Slides, if there are worksheets, I do a lot of kind of paperwork in this class, kind of illustrate concepts. And relevant assignments are all going to be posted on Canvas. Okay, so keep that checked. You will usually, almost always, I think about 15 weeks in the semester, almost always you are going to have a homework assignment due on Sunday night. Your homeworks are always due Sunday night. It's just a question of whether you have one this week or not, right? So you're going to orient yourself around that, okay? Sunday night, homework is due. Monday, it's a brand new week on a brand new, maybe brand new topic, okay? Class will be mostly asynchronous, meaning I put the stuff up there and we do not have any more of these scheduled meetings, okay? I may do some synchronous quizzes where we're all kind of online doing some quizzing at the same time, and your final exam will not be synchronous now that I think about it. But that's it, right? So unless I tell you otherwise, we will not be meeting through Zoom, okay? So just keep that in mind. It's going to be up to you to keep track of the modules on Canvas. I will release them about one week at a time, right? Rarely I may be able to release things ahead of schedule, but I'm also creating the content for you, and it takes me a while to do that. So you'll have one module a week, homework due on Sunday. Check back on Monday for the new stuff, okay? This is a 4-credit course. That means 3,000 instructional minutes, okay? 3,000 minutes you would normally be in the classroom. That's a lot, okay? And then, you know, do whatever the hokey rule of thumb is for how much work it is outside of that in class time. It's a lot of work, just like 131. It's more work than 131, frankly. So brace yourself, okay? It's a 4-credit course. It is treated as such. If you're overloaded this semester, if you're pulling 16, 17 credits, watch out. Don't get behind, okay? That goes for all of your classes. All right, there is a textbook. It is called Problem Solving an Algorithm with Algorithms and Data Structures Using Python. It is required, but it is free online. And I don't mean you download it illegally. I mean it is a web-based book. Okay, it is linked from the syllabus, but you can purchase a print copy if you so choose. There's no distinction. Make sure that whatever you have, you're looking at the 2nd edition of this book, and it will kind of supplement the another source that will help supplement what we talk about during the lecture. But primarily, you know, I'm delivering the content to you through the lecture. and then the worksheets, and then you look at the textbook to kind of brush up on things, get another perspective, okay? But it is free online. Grading, okay, 35% of your total course grade is programming assignments and other homeworks, okay? So your homework assignments that are gonna be due on Sunday night, 35% of your grade. 50% of your grade is quizzes. Don't worry, there are many quizzes, okay? There will be many quizzes. There will probably almost be weekly quizzes, but some of them are going to be relatively simple quizzes that you can complete asynchronously on your own based on reading or concepts from lecture, you know, little short, maybe 10 question things, multiple choice, true, false, not big, crazy things. And then you'll have a handful of programming quizzes where you'll sit down and I'll give you a programming problem and you'll work on it and you'll have a time limit and you'll submit it. Okay, and those will be probably a little more intensive. But there's going to be a lot of quizzes, and 15% of your grade is your final exam. And I do the quiz thing because I'm just not a big fan of putting all of your grade in 2 or 3 exams. Okay, these quizzes, they're low stakes. Individually, they're low stakes, but you want to do well on all of them, right? Okay. All right, honor code stuff. I'm obligated to mention this. Collaboration. Okay, what do I allow in this class? You can discuss things with your peers, but you may not, under any circumstances, share code with your friends, with your classmates. This includes code for assignments that you have already completed and received a grade for. Simple reason is you got to know how to do this stuff, and copying code is plagiarism. And I fail you for the assignment if I catch you doing that, and I will catch you. I do every semester, unfortunately. And the F isn't worth the risk of getting a couple more points. You're not going to learn anything from that. You're going to come to me instead and say, I am stuck, or I have no idea where to start, and I'll help. That's what I'm here for. Okay? No sharing of code, but I am absolutely happy for you to talk about lecture, worksheets, understanding of assignments. All that stuff is fair game. Don't transmit code, don't copy code, don't paste code, don't share it, don't screen share it. That's the rule, okay? When in doubt, ask. I'm not gonna hold it against you for asking. All right, cheating. Cheating pertains to assignments and quizzes. That means obtaining answers from any source other than your own brain, okay? Copying from the internet is bad. Copying from peers is bad. Copying from old classmates is bad. Personal proficiency. The other thing that you'll find in this class, probably around the time of the first or second quiz, is that if you don't know the stuff, but you got good grades because you copied or talked to somebody and they more or less gave you the answer, what you'll find is that you will do horrifically on the quizzes and the final exam, okay? So it's my gentle way of saying, know the stuff. And if you don't know the stuff, be honest about not knowing it, because then we can correct it and work together on it, okay? If you're dishonest about it, it will bite you. And 96.5% of you, this is not an issue, but don't be tempted by the dark side, especially in these really strange semesters that we're going to be having. Hopefully that's a singular semester. Due dates and attendance. Later missed assignments or quizzes receive a 0 unless you have an excused reason. Okay, so there's a list of excused reasons. If you know ahead of time you've got a conflict with a due date or a quiz date, just contact me. I'm still flexible. What I don't like is surprises, okay? If it's due and you don't have an excuse and you didn't turn it in, not happy about it, okay? If you know that you're gonna miss something, let me know, okay? We'll work. Missing the final, though, is a big problem. You have to take the final. You miss the final, you fail the course, period. You can have a 110%. You miss the final, you fail the course. Those are the rules of the department, okay? All right, class and testing accommodations. Some students have accommodations through the Disability Resource Center. If you're a student who has extra test time or whatever, please get those accommodation letters to me soon rather than later. All right, just kind of give you a sense of how folks do in this class. It's kind of all over the place, right? A lot of A's come out of this class. This is the past 4 sections of 231. A lot of people who get A's in 131 can get A's in 231. If you were on the cusp of 131, you're going to have to put in some work, okay, to stay on or above the cusp in this class. But this is what to expect. It's not a cakewalk. I don't fail a bunch of people. A lot of these fails here came from last semester when people just kind of disappeared off the face of the earth, but didn't withdraw for whatever reason. So, you know, if you want to be up here, you're going to do the work and be on time and get it. That's all there is to it. This class is putting in the work kind of class. So how to succeed? It's actually pretty simple recipe, but perhaps a little challenging to implement sometimes, okay? Here's how to make this class work, and you can find this chart on the syllabus. Orient yourself around the homework assignments. Do not start late, do not get behind, okay? Do not get behind on your work. Kiss of death. One of the benefits of this class being asynchronous is you can kind of do the work at a time when it works for you during the week. You don't have to worry about being sick for a class and missing something critical. You can kind of catch up to it at any time. Use that to advantage, right? Use that to your advantage. But what I would say is try your very darndest to follow this schedule down here. Homeworks are due on Sunday. New stuff starts on Monday. I will have everything you need for the week online Monday. Watch the videos. Do the worksheets if I have one for that week. Do the exercises, whatever they may be. Read the assigned readings if there are any. Do that Monday, Tuesday. And this is the most important thing that's critical to succeeding in this class. Half of this class, you are going to learn the content by doing the homework. Okay, the homeworks they're more than busy work to test your knowledge. That's not even how I view them. I don't view them as your understanding of knowledge. They are teaching tools, okay? The homeworks are, usually they're programming assignments, and they're practice for your programming, and they're practice for concepts, and they're practice for problem solving. Start them early, right? Start in on them Tuesday. You don't have to finish them Tuesday. But the thing is, what's going to happen is, for almost everybody, for almost every assignment, there's going to come a point in this homework assignment where you are going to get stuck because you don't understand what I've asked, you don't know how to solve the problem. You want to get stuck Wednesday, Thursday, preferably even Tuesday. You want to get stuck here. You do not want to get stuck on Friday because everybody's going to be getting stuck on Friday. And you definitely don't want to be stuck Saturday and Sunday because you might not be able to get help, right? So, and if you're waiting until here to start your homework, you're going to run into problems because the homeworks are big, okay? They can sneak up on you with how much work they are. So start early so if nothing else, you understand the scope of what's being asked, okay? All right, that's the key to success. And I know every professor says, start your homework early. I mean it. I mean it. If you wait too late, it's going to burn you, okay? All right, take advantage of Slack in the tutoring lab. We'll have more about Slack in a second. Slack is going to be the best way to get in touch with me and your peers. Your peers will be on Slack. You can chat on there. You can talk about concepts. You can say, I don't know this thing. Can you tell me about it? We used this last year. It worked. Slack is just a chat room. Text chat, nobody can see your face. It's great. We used this with pretty good effect last semester. So get in there, participate. You don't have to, but I am going to be on Slack, okay? I am going to be monitoring it. I'm sitting there working, doing whatever, and I got Slack open all the time, okay? Send me a direct message, whatever. There will also be a tutoring lab. Last semester it was virtual. Hopefully, I'm assuming that there will be a virtual tutoring lab, which basically means these guys and gals are available for Zoom calls kind of after hours, usually like 6 to 8 or something like that during the week to kind of help you and explain stuff. And these are all veterans of 231, 331, okay? Pay attention to the schedule. Pay attention to the schedule. Note this thing. I have a notional schedule online. You will know well in advance when assignments are due. I'm telling you right here, Sundays. If there's going to be a quiz, you will know at least a week in advance when that quiz is going to be. Okay, so pay attention to that. All this stuff will be announced on Slack, or on Canvas, excuse me. How to get help, send me an email, but that's one way to do it. But please, I'm telling you, join Slack. Even if you don't talk on there, you can direct message me on there. We can have a private chit chat. We can also do Zoom video conferencing if we need to do screen sharing. Totally happy to do that. But get in touch with me using email or Slack first. Say, Dr. Lehman, I'm stuck on my code, and we'll figure out the right way to address that. We will have a teaching assistant. I'll let you know what that person's availability is soon, and the tutoring lab should come online soon, and I'll let you know as soon as we know. All right. So speaking of Slack, all right, I know I've seen quite a few of you on there right now. So if you haven't done it already, this is the lightly interactive portion of this lecture. If you have not done so already, download Slack. Join, once you've downloaded it, join the workspace by clicking on this link. This link is available on the syllabus. It is available in the Canvas announcements that I've posted before. Join Slack. When you sign in, it'll ask you for the display name you want to use. Use, please, your real name. And join the hash 231 table, or channel, excuse me, hash table. We will study hash tables in this class. Join the hash 231 channel. That's where this class will kind of all be hanging out. That's going to be a great place for you to post general questions. Hey, I don't understand linked lists, this part of it. Can someone help me? And anybody can answer. You can post random stuff in there about the course, okay? So please, please, please join this. It's the best way to get in touch with me. And like I said, I'll be on Slack all the time. I'll try and respond to you timely. So if you're sitting down working, the reason I want to use Slack and the reason we're going asynchronous is I do expect you to kind of be working as you can, right? So I'm going to be on there. You know, if you're working at 10 in the morning, I'll be on there. If you're working at 4:30 in the afternoon, I'll probably be on there. If you're working at 10:30 at night, probably not. But, you know, occasionally I'll be on there after hours too. Okay, Slack, Slack, Slack. That's the best way to get in touch with me and to get assistance. Okay, I'm going to wrap up here pretty soon with, at least with this part. And then we'll kind of got one more section to go through. Okay, so you do have a few things that I need for you to do by this Sunday. This is the first week of class. I need you to complete the following items. These are all on Canvas. They are all posted under the first week's module. Some folks have already done it. Read the syllabus. There's a short questionnaire for you to fill out. No right or wrong answers on that questionnaire. It's just about your past experience. Assignment 0, I want to find out when you all are generally available for meetings like this. Again, I don't anticipate a lot of synchronous like Zoom meetings, but I want you to fill out the spreadsheet and then upload it, and that'll help me figure out the best time. And then there is a quiz 0. It is your first graded quiz, and it is about the content of the syllabus. Okay, all of these things are due Sunday night, right? No single one of them should take you more than, except maybe reading the syllabus, no single one of them should take you more than 5 minutes. Okay. For those of you who are just itching to get going and get back into the groove, not a bad idea. Assignment 1 is posted. It is due next Sunday next, August 30th, but it's up there. It's kind of a scratch your back, stretch your fingers, get back into 131 kind of stuff assignment. But it's posted. It's due Sunday next. Feel free to work on it if you want, but again, it's not due until the due date. All right, so one thing I want to go through with you today, or at least I want to start you on this process like right now, for real. Okay, I know some of you are sitting there drinking your coffee and eating your bagels or whatever, but this is something I do want you to do if you haven't done it already. Okay, and that's get you set up to code in the environment we will use, which is PyCharm. Now, I imagine some of you use PyCharm in 131. That's great. Most of you use idle. That's fine. We're going to use PyCharm. PyCharm, I'll show you a screenshot in a minute, show you what it looks like. How do you go about this? By the way, these slides are online, so you can come back and follow these instructions later. First, make sure you have the latest version of Python installed, which is 3.8.5. Go to python.org, install the latest version. I don't want 3.7.2, I don't want 3.8.1, I want 3.8.5. So make sure you go get that. And then download and install PyCharm Community Edition, okay? It'll take a little while to get. It is free. You may have to register an account, but it is free to get the Community Edition. You don't need the professional edition of PyCharm, okay? So you're gonna get in there with these things, right? Get them started. And what I want you to do, well, I'll get to there in a minute, what I want you to do. So what is PyCharm? PyCharm is an IDE, an integrated development environment. It's a little more, if you've used PyCharm or you use maybe Visual Studio Code or Eclipse, something like that, it's in that same vein. If you've used idle only, what you're going to find is that PyCharm is like supercharged, super featured. It can do a lot more stuff, which you will find beneficial once you harness the power of it, okay? But everybody uses IDEs, right? I don't care if you're going to be a web developer, if you're going to hack systems in Linux, or if you're going to be a digital artist building things in Unity, you are going to use an integrated development environment, something that's a little more sophisticated than just the command line or idle to build your stuff, right? So part of the, part of your training in this class is learning how to use these more sophisticated tools. Okay, so PyCharm, what you need to know is it organizes groups of files into projects. Okay, one project is one folder on your file system. Okay, this is important for you when you go to start into labs, start into assignments. So what I want you to do right now, if you haven't done it already, create a folder on your computer somewhere, your desktop, your documents, wherever you keep this stuff. Create a folder called CSC 231 right now. Where you put it, I don't care. Desktop, documents, somewhere you can find it easily. Maybe you've got your classes somewhere else. Make that folder right now, okay? What you will do, this is really important, and you're gonna run into headaches if you don't understand this, okay? In this folder, you are gonna make, inside CSC 231, you are gonna create a new subfolder for each assignment or project or lab or quiz that you have, okay? So at the end, your folder is going to look something like this. You're going to have a CSC 231 folder, and then inside you will have lab 0, you will have assignment 01, lab 03, okay? Each one of these subfolders is going to be opened separately. It's going to be a separate project within PyCharm, okay? We don't want to mix the code from these guys, okay? You don't want to put all the code from these guys just under one big CSC 231 folder. Headache, okay? Every project, every lab, every assignment, every quiz goes under a separate subfolder, okay? It's a very simple thing, but mess it up and you're gonna run into some funky stuff, okay? Keep this in mind, please. All right, so this is my last slide. In addition to those things that are due on Sunday, here's what I want you to do before Monday. There is an assignment. It is worth points. It is called Lab 00, and it is on Canvas for today under today's module. First, create that CSC 231 folder if you haven't already, and then open up Lab 00 in today's Canvas module. Follow its instructions precisely. Mostly all that this lab is about setting up Python, setting up PyCharm, learning how to run stuff in PyCharm. And then finally, what I ask you to do, I give you a little sample piece of code. I want you to tweak it a little bit and then post your output to the CSC 231 channel on Slack, okay? All the instructions on what to do are in the Canvas lab, all right? So get that done today, preferably, but at the latest before Monday. All right? And that's all I have for today. Thanks for coming in. Thanks for being patient. And